If you're serving in student ministry and still don't feel very connected, today's episode is for you because we're going to share some quick tips on how you can find other youth leaders in your area and get connected with them in order to build relationships, share some resources, share some strategies, and pray together and actually make an impact together. Welcome to Student Ministry Connection, a podcast for those who serve in student ministry, want to connect, and desire to grow. My name is Steve Cullum, and I've served in student ministry for over 20 years. And one of the things that I love about student ministry is when we get to work together with other youth leaders from other churches, get students together from our different ministries, working with youth-focused organizations, and just everybody coming together. But it doesn't always happen that easily. Sometimes we have to put effort into it, and sometimes it gets overwhelming. Most of my ministry has been just a blast to do ministry with other people, but sometimes I've not had that. And I know what it's like to go through ministry with feelings of isolation and loneliness and wondering if I'm the only one that really believes in this in my entire community. But luckily, it's only been a few short times because I've been able to connect with other youth leaders in my area. But I know some of you are wondering, how in the world do I do that? So today I want to offer just a couple quick tips in this short episode just to share with you how I've done it, how you may be able to do it, and also some resources from National Network of Youth Ministries. But before we do that, I want to thank the sponsor of this episode of the podcast. G-Shades is a youth ministry curriculum and teaching strategy focused on helping students see everyday life situations through the lens of the gospel. G-Shades has options to fit everyone as well, with 3 plans to choose from. This curriculum gives you the resources that you need to do what you do better. Do you need message outlines, a discussion guide, and a game? That's just $20 a month. If you're looking for a higher production value, including bumper videos, Instagram devotionals, and parent guides, that's $30 a month. And if you want an affordable, engaging video curriculum, G-Shades has you covered for only $40 a month. You will not find a better youth ministry video curriculum at that price point anywhere. Head over to gshades.org, that's GSHADES.org, to download Season 4 of G-Shades curriculum and use the promo code CONNECTION at checkout to receive an extra $20 off your order. G-Shades, seeing life through the lens of the gospel. Thank you, G-Shades, for sponsoring this episode of the podcast. You can find a link to G-Shades in the podcast show notes. When it comes to networking within student ministry, most of you probably fall into 2 different camps. For some of you, this comes really, really easy, and you love having ministry friends, and you naturally do it, and this is not a problem for you. But for others, you struggle. Maybe you're a natural introvert, or maybe you don't know how to connect with others and you don't know what that looks like or anything like that. And the desire might be there, but the know-how or the ways that to actually make it happen just aren't there. So I just want to share a couple quick tips in this episode just to give you some tools in your tool belt to make that happen. And I will say up front that I think this requires some initiative. So if you're not just a natural person that just loves connecting with brand new people, you may have to set that aside for this kind of a thing just to make sure that you actually will connect with others. If you stay to yourself, it's going to be really hard to actually connect with others and grow that network. But if you're willing to put yourself out there, I think one of the things that you can do is just make yourself a list. Go through all the different youth ministries within your community. Maybe find all the different churches, all the different youth-focused organizations like Young Life or FCA or Youth for Christ, whatever those organizations that exist already within your community. Go through and just make a list, then do some research on who the leader is, the primary leader of those different ministries, and write down their phone number or their address. Then I want you to just mark 2 to 3. I know some of you live in a community where there are tons and tons, and that's awesome. But start simple. Start with 2 or 3. and just make sure to put it on your calendar that you will call those 2 to 3 different youth leaders. Now, here's the deal. Some of them are not going to answer because they might be in the same place as you, thinking they want to connect, but not really sure and still hesitant about it. So you may actually, if you're up for it, you may want to stop by their office. I know that sounds crazy, but we all have people that stop by our offices all the time, right? Just unannounced and want to stop by and talk with us. How about you do it for a really good reason? Stop by and want to talk to the youth pastor in another church and actually take them out for coffee and just say, hey, I want to hear about your ministry and how I can encourage you from our church and our ministry as well. Easy as that. Just make a list of all the different ministries, all the different leaders within your community, and then just mark 2 to 3 that you want to start with. And then here's the deal. In order to make that into a growing community, encourage them to do the same thing. All of a sudden, now we're going to be multiplying and now we're going to be growing this community. And then you can get a network, a regular meeting together, and all those different things that can happen from that growing network. But just start simple with 2 to 3 leaders in your community. It doesn't have to be a list of 10, 20, 30. Just start with 2 to 3 on your list and take the initiative to actually get in touch with them. The second tip I want to offer today is the National Network of Youth Ministries website. If you haven't checked it out, go over to nnym.org and you can create a free account. There's no fee at all. But once you get there, you can look at the map and you can actually find all the different networks that are already listed in your area. You can search by your location, or you can search by different things that you're interested in as well in ministry. Maybe you're an urban church, or maybe you're a suburban church, or maybe you focus on special needs. Whatever you want to search for is right there in front of you. You can find all the different networks that already exist right on nnym.org. And if you don't find a network in your area, there are resources to help you start a network. You can sign up for your free account and say that you want to start a brand new network, and an area director will actually get in touch with you, share some resources, and walk through that entire process with you, encouraging you along the way and just being there as a resource and a help as you get this thing started. Maybe you're not really sure, like we said earlier, how to find those different youth leaders in your area. That area network director is there to help walk through all of that with you. So head over to nnym.org, create a free account, search for a network that's already in your area. And if there's not one, you can create one, and we will walk through that entire process with you because we know that we are better together. So that's just a couple quick tips on how to get connected with other youth leaders. Do some research and create a list of all the youth leaders in your area. Choose 2 to 3 to start with to reach out and connect with them. And also check out National Network of Youth Ministries website because we are here to help you walk through that entire process. I've also been throwing around some ideas on how to connect you all that are in our podcast audience. So if you have any ideas on how you would like to see that happen, please follow me or the podcast on social media and just send us a quick direct message with how we can continue to develop this community and give you yet another place to connect with other youth leaders. Thanks again for being here for this quick hit episode of Student Ministry Connection. Please do consider sharing this with others because it really does help us continue this podcast and help us have great interview guests like the one that's coming on our next episode. And also, if you would like to support my ministry through National Network of Youth Ministries, you can head to the link in the show notes. I would love for your partnership support through prayer, but also if God prompts you to through finances as well. It's a huge blessing to me to be able to partner with people like you to be able to serve more youth leaders, unite the church, and reach more and more teenagers for Christ. I also want to thank the sponsor of this episode, G-Shades. Check out their website at gshades.org and use the promo code CONNECTION to save $20 off your order. I also want to encourage you to check out Mike Haynes' new book. He's the founder of G-Shades, and you can find that over at gshades.org as well. And if you're looking for a way to organize your weekly program or want to find an entire program for a whole year, Co-Leader by Download Youth Ministry is a great resource. You can also check out the link in the show notes to get a free account and also 40 free credits. And if you sign up and get some credits before the end of May 2023, you'll lock in the beta 50% pricing. So make sure you head over there right away. Use the link in the show notes. Like I said, we'll be back in a couple weeks with another great episode with an interview that I'm really excited for you to hear. But until then, be sure to stay connected and may God bless your ministry.